But when it comes to the black people and Minister Farrakhan and Omarosa, please sit down and tell me what legislation, Minister Farrakhan, are you going to propose to give Omarosa? What plan of action can she work with you in creating to present to the White House and asking as far as action? Are you going to really address the 500 black girls missing in this country?
God is my witness. You gon' sit right here and listen till I'm finished. Cause you ain't got nowhere to go. Don't think I don't know that you ain't been telling the truth.
Omarosa's meeting with Honorable Minister Farrakhan. Hey you guys, this is Shirley. You're watching Shirley's World. Shirley's World. I'm gonna get my name straight. One day. Hey, anyway, I don't know if you heard, but Omarosa is going to be meeting with the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. Hey, I think this is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Let me tell you why. First of all, the Trump administration has commenced what they call the Urban Renewal Agenda, which I have posted on urbangamechangers.com. Make sure you go to urbangamechangers.com, sign up and join our family. And then you can go at the top and look at the toolbar and you will see Urban Renewal Agenda. What does that consist of? That consists of safe communities, jobs, and education. Education is key thing that Mr. Trump wants to do. But after Betsy DeVos, I don't know what's going to happen. That's a whole nother story. Make sure you watch that video. But I will tell you, when we talk about safety in our communities, when we talk about Chirac and Chicago and inner city urban communities that are blighted with illegal immigrants who are killing off our people and we killing our own people off, we need something to be done. We need to be able to commence and talk to people in the urban communities. And Omarosa is doing a fabulous job. She is not a one-man show. And many of you have reached out to me and have talked about Omarosa in the blogs and in the conscious community. Shout out to Yvette Cornell, Tone Talks. Shout out to Logan. Shout out to Willie Lawson. Shout out to so many people out there who I love, who I adore, who I think are great and have a voice in the conscious community. Even Dr. Umar. You know, Dr. Umar, I love me some Dr. Umar. He's straight coffee, no sugar, no tea. Anyway, but straight chocolate. Woo-wee. But anyway, like I was saying before, when we talk about Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, oh, by the way, that's some more chocolate, no sugar, no cream, no tea. Now, what does that mean when I say that? Because when they deal with the black community, they are pro-black. And as you know, and I believe, as well as Yvette Cornell believes, that we are only 12 to 13% of the population. And you cannot live in a country all straight chocolate without identifying that you're only a percentage of that coca, that cup. You're only a percentage, and that we do live in a country that has a lot of cream and a lot of sugar in it. That's just the bottom line. So we need to work together. And I'm telling you, that is the purpose of Omarosa. She is there to work in the administration to build a relationship within the urban communities. But many of you in the urban communities cannot be worked with. You know why? Because you're not humbling yourself to listen, first of all. Number two, you're not open. And number three, you don't know how to receive. So her job is to get to you, and one of the things she's been trying to do is work with the Black Caucus, which I feel is a waste of time. They have proposed what they call, we have nothing to lose, or we got a lot to lose proposals to Mr. Trump, and then they mock Mr. Trump's proposal, because I've seen them do it, when it has to do with the Urban Renewal Agenda, which has to do with safety, jobs, and education, which is what we need. Come on. Anyway, I'm excited. Do you know why I'm excited? Because the Honorable Louis Farrakhan a minister spoke well.
No Muslim leader could call for jihad and have it stick. No Muslim leader had the power to unite the whole Muslim world. I said, but America's policies will unite those people against the West. And it is happening. So in this way, Mr. Trump, I think, is wise to vet anyone coming from that area into America, because the hatred for America is in the streets now. So if those people are refugees and America feels I gotta let 10,000 of them in because America created the problem. Now, if you let them in and you don't vet them carefully, you might be letting in your own destruction.
Spoke well during the duration of this campaign. Now, he's not all excited about Trump. He says it differently when it comes after. But he is open and willing to sit down with one of his administrators, which is Omarosa, and talk about what is going wrong within the urban community. So I value this. The question is, what are we going to get out of it, people? Handy dandy notebook. Your energy. Let's make some notes.
Get your
What do
handy
you
dandy
think we're
notebook.
going to get out of it?
You're watching
What do you
Shirley's
think is
World.
going to come out of it? Will the minister do better than the Black Congressional Black Caucus? Will he be able to give her some ideas and input and say, you know what, Omarosa, A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Will she be able to work with that? Will she be able to take that back to Mr. Trump? Or will it be a bunch of rhetoric like the Black Caucus did when they met with him? They gave their proposal, and I read over that proposal, and I'm going to do a video on that later on because it's so in detail. It's 125 pages. And the first thing they should have talked about was mass incarceration and real Black Lives Matter. 500 black girls missing in this country, black men incarcerated, and we on the verge of extinction. That's what the problem is with the black community. But instead, we continue to talk about extending governmental programs and what I don't have and what you're going to give me, Mr. Trump. That is not the answer. The answer is you need to have a proposed plan of action to create legislation. Legislation is what will change this administration to make changes within the urban communities. Urban communities are dysfunctional, they're disarmed, and what has happened is that they are disassembled because we have all these illegal immigrants, especially in California, that have made our state one hot mess.
Freed Africans from this country who were in slavery went back over there to Liberia to repatriate and to settle on that land. There was a civil war with the indigenous people of that country. So the thinking and the reprogramming of the mind has to change, and that is the fallacy of slavery. That slave system still plays an effect on the African American mind even today.
Thank God for Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions, you can have lunch, dinner, tea, and ice cream with me anytime. Jeff Sessions, get this message to Jeff Sessions. You need to come to America, LA quickly, because America ain't in LA. America is not in America. This is not America. I feel like I live in Tijuana, where they got hot dogs and chilies and people who don't want to speak English, who won't hire black people, who won't hire Americans. 6% of black people are left in this state of California. We don't have nobody black here. The white people ain't even here. And if you go to Beverly Hills, they call it Persian ears. Go to Beverly Hills. You can find no white people there either. These people have invaded this country in California and trying to have California exit. I'm telling you, we are on the verge of civil war and mass destruction in the state of California and mass incarceration of people by illegal immigration. I feel like I'm incarcerated here. Everywhere I go, ain't nothing but a bunch of Mexicans all around town that don't speak English and don't want to and don't want to assimilate. It is not a country that's talking about opening their arms. It's about a country that is trying to destroy itself. We need help in California. It's one hot mess. But when it comes to the black people and Minister Farrakhan and Omarosa, please sit down and tell me what legislation, Minister Farrakhan, are you going to propose to give Omarosa? What plan of actions can she work with you in creating to present to the White House and asking as far as action? Are you going to really address the 500 black girls missing in this country? Are you going to really address mass incarceration? Are you going to really address real capitalism needed in the urban communities as far as education and housing and safety? Are you going to really deal with Chirac, that's basically a hot mess that if you go outside, you can get shot and killed by anybody? And when the neighbors come and try to quiet some kids down by a pool, they're going to flip them in the water? And are you really going to try to bring back the black family? The black family where the black man has a black woman that can work with building black communities of their own, for we can have our own. We can have our own. People say, sure, you can't have your own. No, we can't. You need to listen to Yvette Cornell. You know why we can't? Because we have been ostracized and we have been invaded by immigrants and illegal immigrants who have been given more rights than the American citizens and who treat African American people like third world citizens. Third class, fourth class citizens. So, Minister, And all you Muslims out there, all you black brothers and sisters out there, them pure chocolate people, when you address the Queen, Omarosa, I would ask you to this. Make sure you have some kind of legislation, some type of proposal that can be transcended into legislation that makes common sense versus sitting up there ranting and complaining. This is not how the Trump administration operates. They operate by legislation. They operate by rules and regulation. They operate with a plan of action, action that can be implemented, not plans that continue to criticize like the Black Caucus do. The Black Caucus don't care about black people, especially Karen Bass. Karen Bass care about Mexicans. That's all she cares about is Mexicans. She act like she black. That girl ain't black. That girl is half Mexican inside and out. She just covered with a little dust of cocoa because she light skinned anyway. Yeah, I went there and I went there hard. We ain't gonna talk about Maxine Waters. That woman, woof, that's a whole nother story. But let me make this clear. Omarosa and Minister, when you come down and you sit down, think of those 5 things I just shared. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And YouTube. Subscribe. I need more subscription. Please subscribe. Share my videos and join Urban Game Changers. Go to urbangamechangers.com and thank you for watching. Remember, it starts with me and you.